As a dude, I know I've been pretty heavy on how much I can't stand annoying feminists, but this is also why I hate a lot of my gender, because this is some of the dumbest logic on the planet. To any BJJ user out there, I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying legitimate truth and facts here. Oh, and by the way, this has nothing to do with gender or like insulting BJJ at all. In fact, I respected BJJ. It's hard, and it's a different thing that has nothing to do with anything but learning. That's it. But in terms of practical use, BJJ has nothing really to do with fighting, unless you're talking about mixed martial arts in a sport. But this is what needs to be kind of said here.
Women do all this crap in BJJ classes, then get beat up by dudes in real life. If you've never done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and don't think you're getting folded like a lawn chair, you are smoking crack.
Now, I'm going to stop it there because I need this to be said. This is also a point that I think should not be actually glorified here, because I really do not like this idea of saying that, because you're going to give off the wrong idea to certain people that do BJJ. No offense to that woman, but I will tell you this right now. If she thinks she's going to put BJJ in a street fight, she's going to get fucking folded. And I don't mean that as a demeaning thing. I mean she's going to get hurt. BJJ does not teach you striking. BJJ does not teach you how to throw a kick. BJJ doesn't teach you how to fucking, knock a nigga out. You know what does? Knocking niggas out. Here's a story. Juliana Pena, a woman that is a former, multiple time, I believe, UFC champion, beat Amanda Nunes. Beat. Okay? This wasn't a fluke. She just walked in there and beat her. All right? She beat her. She went the distance and beat her. All right? She didn't win the second time around, but still, you beat her. That happened on your record. She talked about this time she got so mad that at this line cook, because he was a piece of shit apparently, being an asshole, and said, "I'm gonna beat your ass." And he would say that every day. This woman is a trained UFC fighter, by the way. Now, at the time, they were working at a restaurant, so you could say, well, this is before Juliana Pena got really good. I'm gonna tell you this right fucking now. This had nothing to do with anything but pure fucking physics. I'm sorry to give y'all that notion of finality here, but she goes in and he beats her fucking ass. He whoops her ass worse than Amanda Nunes ever could dream of. Like, Amanda Nunes could not beat up this woman in a UFC fight like this man did. You know why? Because a street fight is not a sport. It is a dangerous thing, and why you don't do it, you morons. I don't know. Food for fucking thought there. I was going to make this into the short, but no, I'm actually genuinely annoyed by this entire topic. Because I keep seeing it. Like, oh, you get folded by a dude in a real fight. Yeah, probably. She might. She might get pile drive. She might get her fucking shit rocked. How is that a brag to domestically, to commit domestic violence on a woman randomly? Congratulations, you can assault a woman? What are you fucking doing? That's retarded. Great, you beat up a small girl that's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu with striking. Awesome. She's not a blue belt in striking. She's not a fucking boxer. She's not, even then, that's not even a flex, because even then you just grab her and throw her. What the fuck are we doing? You guys don't understand. This has nothing to do with just technique. It's literally physics. It's literally dangerous to fuck around with this shit. Yes, you can fold the girl in a fight. Awesome. But let's actually see you do the sport of BJJ. She would whoop your ass, right? She would hump you on the mat, bro. She would fucking hump you on the mat. Just gonna keep it a buck with you. She would fucking literally pile fuck your ass. Not to be so perverse about it, but it's true. You get bodied. All right? In a fight, sure. But fights are dangerous. Fuck, for all we know, Khabib could get his ass knocked the fuck out by some Russian nigga in the fucking street. It wouldn't shock me. Street fights are very unpredictable. It has a lot of variables that go into it. A Navy SEAL, I forget his name, talked about what would you do in a fight situation. Run. I would run for my life. Keep in mind that a Navy SEAL is a trained motherfucking killer. A Navy SEAL, the only people I put above Navy SEALs, and this is controversial, but I'll say it, the only motherfuckers that scare me in this country as an American in my military more than motherfucking Navy SEALs, Delta. I ain't fucking with no Delta or Navy SEALs. I ain't fucking with Delta. That's it. Delta is the scariest thing in America, in my opinion, of what we have. All right, Israeli elites Delta. You don't want to fuck with people like that in this world, bro. And a fucking Navy SEAL just said, I would run the fuck away in a street fight situation. Because you don't know what could happen. You don't know who you're fucking with. Keep in mind, it's a trained killer, an actual killer, not some fucking BJJ blue belt that says, I'm a killer. No, an actual killer, an actual trained killing machine. And he said he'd run away. That's genius level thinking. You know why? You don't know what could happen in a street fight. You don't know who you're fucking with. You don't know what they do, how crazy they are, what lengths they'll go. A BJJ match, bro, it's pretty standard. It's you roll around and you learn technique. A fight, that girl might not be prepared at all. Some guy could go to the limit and say, I'll poke your eyes out, I'll fucking slap you, I'll kick you in the fucking groin, I will throw you against the wall. You could try to BJJ shit, and here's the thing, you could get him wrapped up. What if he picks you up and slams you against the wall? Because he's big. That doesn't work in a real life situation in the sense of a dude might just fucking slam you against the wall. He ain't gonna tap. He's gonna throw you into the wall. In BJJ, no one goes in and says, "Oh, I'm stuck in this fucking thing. I'm gonna slam her on the mat." That's That's like against the rules. It's horrible. That's absolutely not allowed in BJJ. You don't do shit because you can hurt someone doing that. In a street fight, you're supposed to hurt someone doing that. That's the point. You could kill someone. You could go to prison. You could fuck up your life. Think about that. But you guys literally had this fucking debate about, yeah, you do BJJ, but I bet you in a real fight situation. How is this a brag? Congratulations. You know what else? I bet, here's another one. Oh yeah, you have a JJ, but you know what? I can shoot you with a gun. You might as well just say that at this point, right? Like, what are you 5? Rather than crying like a little bizatch about how women are talking about how they spar with men and beat some maybe lower level men at fucking jujitsu or some shit like a bitch. Why don't you go on the mat and prove it, horn boy? Oh, that's right, because y'all are lazy bitches. You rather brag about domestically beating up women. That's pathetic, dude. That is actually pathetic. And it needs to be talked about more how gay this is. I think it's the gayest thing of all time. Congratulations. You can beat up a woman that's smaller than you. I would expect you to, buddy. Not gonna lie. That blue belt girl, I would expect you to beat her ass. And what's your point? Guess what? You're going to prison. There's your brag. You assault her, you're going to prison. And then you're going to get assaulted in prison by bigger men than you. You idiot. What are we doing? Where did we go wrong? Oh, that's right, Instagram. That's where we went wrong. But like, it's actually annoying. It's like, and I don't really like that framing because you're going to give a lot of, because there are women out here who say, man, no man can beat up an untrained woman. No untrained man can fight no untrained woman. Again, Line Cook beat up a UFC champion who beat Amanda Nunes. Also, meaning I'm just going to say this too. This is going to sound like I'm talking shit or whatever. That guy would have beat Amanda Nunes' ass. That dude would have probably folded her ass and beat the shit out of Amanda Nunes. Because he's bigger, he's stronger, he's longer. He's like 6'3", by the way. He'd probably throw her through a fucking wall. Is that a brag though? No. Because you're fucking huge. That's why you don't do stupid shit like that. What the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Now, that guy was crazy, though. He literally, I think he offed himself, 2-3 days after that whole incident. It was crazy. But it's like, I think it was 2-3 months, actually. But still, it's like, bro, a UFC women's champion's telling you, literally, a UFC women's champion said it, all right? And she told that story. It wasn't like a story from a witness. No, Juliana Pena told the story and said, I would never fuck with men in real life. Why do you think that is, right? I don't understand the humble brag of this. It's not a brag. It's actually pathetic. I think it's the gayest thing of all time that you guys do this shit. It shows your insecurity. And honestly, we're talking about a sport, not an actual combat situation where you're supposed to hurt people. Yeah, I'll admit, that girl will probably fucking twist my legs and fucking make me her bitch on the mat. No fucking joke. She'd probably fucking smile as she's sitting on my face and turning my arms into pretzels. But in a real fight situation, could I pick her up and, I'm a big dude. Could I throw her through a wall? Maybe. Do I brag about that? No, because why the fuck would I do that? That's called being a fucking domestic abuser, and I don't want that label on my record, bud. I don't want to have a record, and I certainly don't want that as my record. I think that's disgusting. What's the brag, bro? And again, saying, oh, you're smacking, and again, this message by him, do not send that out, and please, there are women who do this. I'm about, no untrained man can fuck with a trained fighting woman. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. You are going to get women hurt thinking that shit. here's another, like, even when it comes to like training disparities. This, like, there's a UFC women's champion who got the shit kicked out of her in a domestic violence situation by her boyfriend, right? And her boyfriend was a no-name nothing boxer who had no background in jiu-jitsu or anything. He was a boxer. Well, he beat her ass. Yeah. What does that tell you? That's what I'm talking about. Don't, like, it's not a brag. It's very dangerous to think like this. So please stop. I think people need to slow down with this. Stop comparing street fighting and jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, you don't throw hands. Jiu-jitsu, you don't strike. Jiu-jitsu, you don't eye gouge. Jiu-jitsu, you don't pick up and throw through walls. Jiu-jitsu, you don't fucking knee. You don't do any of that shit. There's no striking involved in jiu-jitsu. It is literally a wrestling practice at best. That's what it is. It is not used to defend yourself. Please do not ever think because you know jiu-jitsu, you're going to fight dudes in the street. I pray you don't do that. You will get folded. You will get hurt. And I don't want that to happen to you. Do not mess with dangerous men in the street. Please don't do that. Practicing jiu-jitsu is a great way to stay in shape. Great practice. And it's an admirable thing to learn. Fucking throwing hands is a whole different animal. All right? And I will tell you this. I am not throwing motherfucking hands with a nigga that knows how to throw hands. I would rather fight the BJJ guy in the street before I ever fight a dude that knows how to throw hands. Just being real with you. Maybe I lose either way. But I'll tell you this. If the BJJ guy only knows BJJ, he ain't going to know how to fucking be proficient in striking. Meaning, in a street fight, I could just keep my distance and hit him with something. Man, if a nigga knows how to throw hands, you're fucked. You're going to get killed. You're fucked. Don't fuck around. Please. All right? Like this messaging, I agree with you on the sentiment. I agree with you in the idea of practice. But don't say, oh, you get folded. And folded in what? In terms of street fighting, bro? Be very specific. Because if you start saying shit like this and women get this wrong idea and they start trying to street fight men like Julia. And Juliana Pena had that same exact thought process as some of these women that I'm seeing saying this. And she got her ass whooped. Her own words. I got dropped 3 times. 3. This is a woman that didn't even that stood the distance and literally never had got tapped out, never got knocked out. Like she stood the distance with Amanda Nunes, beat her even in 2 matches. Okay? And this dude whooped her ass. That's crazy to say. Because no dirt, nigga. He's a 6'3" fucking monster over there. Don't fuck around. That's all I'm saying. Don't get overconfident. And please, God, y'all gotta learn that this is a sport, not an actual self-defense mechanism. Please. You want to know self-defense? Guns and running away. There you go. You want to know self-defense? Guns and running away is your first option. Then have self-defense training. But really, guns and running away should be your first option when it comes to this shit. That should always be your first go-to. Guns and running away. Not to sound like a fucking pussy, but hey, who am I to fucking sit there and doubt the words of a trained Navy fucking SEAL, a killer? Who the fuck am I gonna doubt that guy? That's a fucking Terminator. I'm not doubting the Terminator here, bruh. But you guys can doubt that all you want. But I'm seeing this debate, and it's bugging the fuck out of me. Stop it. Both of you, both ends of this are dangerous to think like this. Please stop promoting the idea that because you know BJJ that you could fucking street fight. You will get murdered. Unless you know hands. And you also understand unpredictability. Which again, that's retarded. That's the point I'm making. But also, please stop bragging about men beating up women because they're proficient at BJJ. BJJ is not a fighting sport. It's not a sport that you're supposed to hurt people in. It's not a sport that you're going to throw hands in, bro. It's not. Okay? You guys got it. Domestic violence, the Ike Turners are winning, bro. Congratulations. But, like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like what I'm trying to dispel that away. It's stop talking and stop generalizing all men and women like this. But you guys make it so fucking hard, man. You really do. Like, you're such retards about it. Shut up. But stop. You gotta stop. You just gotta stop. It's not a good thing to brag about beating up women. I don't care if they're trained BJJ or not. It's not a good thing. It's not.
Blue belt, so I assume she's been doing it for about 3 years, which is at the beginning of your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey. But in real life standards, she is destroying 99% of the untrained population.
Oh, God, no. What? In what, though? In BJJ, I agree with you. But please don't say that in a fucking fighting situation. Are you out of your mind? literally, this entire Juliana Pena of all people literally would look at this dude and go, "Can you shut the fuck up?" No, please do not say. You're gonna get people hurt saying that shit. No, bro, not in a street fight. No, unless if she knows hands, maybe. But then again, even if she knows hands, Juliana Pena, and the guy's bigger, she might get murdered. She just might. That don't say that. Oh God, you guys gotta stop saying that. But JJ does not help you in street fighting. It just won't help you in street fighting, bro. Because you're not supposed to street fight for a reason.
But what I find interesting are the hate comments, right? All this to lose to a man in a street fight.
Not a brag.
Whenever people are insecure, they change the game.
Thank you for saying that, because you were getting, I was about to kill you. I was about to slap the shit out of you through the screen, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You were saying some dangerous shit there. Thank you. You're changing the game. Yes, in a street fight, don't brag about that. Please stop bragging about this. This is not a fucking brag.
So this guy knows he wouldn't win in her game, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
yes.
So he changes the game to a street fight.
Which isn't a game. It's very dangerous and retarded. And also could lead to someone getting killed.
Weapons are involved, and you...
Yeah, even barehanded. Even barehanded, bro. Weapons, but even barehanded, right? It's just not a good thing. It's not a brag.
And smash people's head in the concrete.
Yes.
You see that a lot with fighters in general. If you see a fighter, it's like, oh, but you're not bulletproof, though. You're not bulletproof.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, guns. Cool, bro.
They change the game because they're insecure
exactly.
And they don't want to lose the game you're playing. I see this a lot online with bodybuilders and fighters, and they'll always argue, oh, well, I have more muscle. Well, I'm more mobile, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, dude. Just go do your own sport. I see this a lot with, like, my personal life, too. Like, if someone asks me what I do and I say I own my own business, right, I've seen people react in an insecure way before and go, oh, well, I'm actually in school. I'm actually doing something unlike you. And it's like, dude, you don't have to tear me down to make yourself feel better.
And that's the thing. Like, people do that shit. It's like, I ignore them because it's like, who gives a fuck? But I always, like, laugh when it comes to fucking fighters, man. Like, oh, yeah, but you can't beat a guy in the street. Like, yeah, okay, that's a fact. You're not wrong. That most, and I'm not saying this to demean, and I see this because women do this to, like, I don't know why. You need to stop promoting this message because it's very dangerous. I don't want y'all to end up like Juliana Pena. I really don't. Juliana Pena don't want you to end up like Juliana Pena in this situation. But please stop promoting the idea that a woman is going to beat up an untrained man in a street fight or a fight in general in any random situation. Just assume nothing here. You don't want to play the odds on this because you might win and you might tap a guy out in a bar. Or you might run into that line cook and he might drop your ass 3 fucking times. And you will be like, well, shouldn't have done that. Juliana Pena, man. Beat Amanda Nunes. No one can take that away. And even then, a line cook whooped her. Because street fighting sucks. So you don't do it. The Navy SEAL, man, like, I forget his name, but he's just like, I run the fuck away. Fuck that shit. And he was dead ass here. He just said that shit second nature. Like, no. And I was like, thank you. Some actual common sense from someone.
If someone is trying to tear you down and you can tell that they're changing the game to make themselves feel better, you can choose to just not be a part of that conversation. You can just choose not to play the game at all and walk away.
Congratulations, dude. You beat up a fucking small woman in street fighting and beat her ass. Have fun in prison. Dumbass. What's wrong with you?
And if you're the person trying to change the game and go, well, they don't do this like me, look inside yourself and see why you're asking that. Ask why you're insecure. Yeah. Be okay with where you're at and just continue working towards your goal. You will get there eventually. You have to if you just continue working towards.
I agree with this. I mean, at the end of the day, man, like, we're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not an actual, we're like fighting, combat, hurting people type sport. It's just not. It's a different zone. So yes, a girl knows Jiu-Jitsu. Yes, guys, but that doesn't mean she's going to walk into a bar and beat your ass like Bruce Lee. I don't know why that makes you feel better. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if that girl tried to throw hands with some dude at a bar, maybe 6 to 7, 8 out of 10 times, she's probably getting her ass handed to her. Because you're probably facing a bigger dude, probably facing a dude that knows how to throw a fist for fuck's sake. You're probably facing a dude that doesn't give a shit, so he ain't going to hold back. But in Jiu-Jitsu, it's a whole different sport. She probably will take you apart and fucking fold you and make you her bitch in that moment. Okay? That's jujitsu. It has nothing to do with strength and got nothing to do with physical dominance. It has nothing really to do with any of that. It has something to do with learning. Like, I remember watching, and this goes both ways, by the way. This is actually like a clip on this reality show. It's just very normal looking guy who does jujitsu took on this woman in a wrestling match, right? And she's a fucking built ass goddamn brick house. He beat her ass. He fucking pounded her on the mat like a motherfucker. Cause she thought she'd just throw him around. And like, nah, you got taken apart. And he was just toying with her. Yeah. That's the difference, guys. That's what I'm talking about. You know? Toying with her. But like say, if that guy took on like a fucking street fighter, he might get his ass fucking thrown into a wall. Because we're talking about a different animal. I hate comparing two different things that should never be compared. Really stop doing that. And stop bragging about beating up women. Stop that shit. Why are you so gay, bro? Like, yeah, there are women who rage bait about this online, which is just designed to literally rage bait retards like you. And it's sad that y'all fall for it. But at the same time, it's like, who cares? You're right, guys. You could domestically beat up a woman, even if she knows you just... I guess. But why would you want to again? Because that sounds sus. Like... And I'm sorry, but like none of y'all are that line cook that dude has first bragging rights to say anything over any of y'all, because he said he basically could beat up the entire women's division, basically by that man's estimation. That line cook will probably be the greatest, will probably beat up the entire women's division of UFC. Not gonna lie, he probably could. Not a brag, because he's 6'3", a monster. And I think just wouldn't get fazed by any woman really throwing punches at him because of size, mass, and biology. But that I will say one thing, that dude, he might actually he might have been a trained fighter. Who knows? That guy might have, honestly, he could have gone into fucking Bellator and trained. Who knows? Sad he had mental problems, but who knows? But like at the same time, it's like, bro, y'all that line cook? No. So shut up. That's the only one who gets bragging rights to me. That man beat up a UFC champion. That's the undefeated street badass right there. And I'm just joking. I'm really just talking shit, because who gives a fuck in all honesty? I think he's actually more impressive to me than any of you bitches online, because he just said, I'm going to beat your ass. And then goes out and then just does it. I'm like, damn. He said he beat your ass, then beat your ass. That's incredible to me, because he just said and did it. You see what I mean? Why don't y'all actually go in and try and start, go into this sport? Why don't you go into BJJ and see what happens? When you have fun finding out you can't throw a fist. Dumbass. Like, you dudes are so stupid. But JJ ain't got nothing to do with that shit. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. You don't throw hands in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, bro. You don't. So why are you trying to brag about something like this? That's like bragging to a boxer that you can out-wrestle them. Hey, bro, who gives a fuck? Anthony Joshua didn't train to be a wrestler. He trained to knock niggas out. So, he's pretty good at it. It's like Jake Paul beating up all these UFC fighters that have terrible hands. Then he fights Anthony Joshua, right? And what happens? Oh, he fought someone that actually trained in the sport, and he got folded. No shit, huh? Like, what are we doing, dude? I really gotta ask that.